is that you're doing in life, whether it's running a business or making toast. There's steps involved, and understanding all of the steps and all the nuance of the details will help you to identify inefficiencies and optimize on that. So, so we have to find out, where the holes are, and then, cure that area, fix that space. So we want to go over that because all right, we need to try and get over here to the microphone as close as possible. I'm recording this, and so I want to pull up this file. What's the person's name? Gallagher?
Yeah.
Let me pull the transmittal here. I just want to get on the same page about what was turned in and GALL.
Yeah. AG. Yeah.
Okay. So the purpose, it's May 4th, it's 4:05 p.m. The purpose of this training is to learn how to submit a top quality file for submission into processing, and read our underwriter's review of the loan, the processor's review, to find out where things could have been made clear or better to have a better submission, and take it as a training to prevent this from for any new loan officer, anyone, even a current loan officer, from making mistakes and trying to avoid those, so that way we can get the best loans in and get them out fast and have a very efficient process, streamlined process, as opposed to something that's very chaotic. It drags the whole chain down. So where's the how come I didn't get this transmittal?
It's in from Mortgage Machine if you want to do from, or you just log into NM.
Is it Mortgage Machine?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah, because we just want to. So, okay, tell me now. Let's talk about who's got. Who wants to talk about the loan first? GALLAGHER. Edward Gallagher. Okay. Okay, here's a write-up on it. So,
I'm gonna just open
Well, no-
the PDF. It's easier. to read.
okay. Well, I know, Presh, you were telling me something about it earlier, and you wanted to tell me. Now, the purpose of this is this: you need to speak how you feel about everything here. Don't censor anything, because we need to get to the bottom line on stuff. So, I need to know what, tell me about the file, what happened, or what is it that you saw that could have been better. This is not about hurting anyone's feelings. It's about just making it right. We all are here to make money. We can't make money if we don't have the best loans. So it's not about anything but that. And so this is a training. So tell me, what is it that your opinion of this file and what Cindy's talking about?
Well, since she sent out that email regarding this loan that it took her 2 hours to review it, I can relate to her because it took me about the same amount of time to review it and submit it. Based on the quality of the file and the documentation that was in the file. So a USDA loan shouldn't take a processor 2 hours to review and submit. And that's why I think she was saying in her email too, is that because there was a lot of holes in the file, basically, it took her longer to get through, which I can relate to, coming in as the piece sending her the loan, the middle kind of person there.
Okay, now when you say holes, can you elaborate on that? Because that's a very vague thing. We need a lot of clarity. So
Right. So this is a USDA loan in Pennsylvania. Just one borrower on the loan. He's married. There wasn't any documentation in there for the NPS.
okay, so let's stop right there. So the borrower's married.
Right.
We're doing a USDA loan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and you're saying there was no evidence of the non-purchasing spouse's income.
Correct.
Okay. So does everybody understand that on a USDA loan, anybody that's going to be living in the house, you have to get their income documentation. And you have to include it in the submission. It doesn't matter if they're not going on the loan.
I'll be honest, I didn't know that.
Well, no, of course you're new. You don't know that. So,
Right.
So, and you may wonder why do you need that? Because of the income cap.
Yeah, I would always just ask and do it verbally. To this day, I did not.
That's okay.
So.
No, yeah, this is all about, you're not expected to know that. After this training, then you're obviously expected to know it. So that's why we're doing this. Okay, of course, I would think the same thing. You're not going on loan without your income, right? Well, because it's USDA, they verify that person's income.
And even if they have a dependent that's 16 years old, of anyone that's of age to work, we need to find out if any of the kids are working. And if they are, we always need 1 month recent check stubs, last 2 years W-2s. If they're not working, we need an LOE from them stating they're not working and they're not seeking employment. It needs to be signed and dated. So what happened is that that was one of the issues that I saw, but I didn't. When I talked to the borrower, I got further clarity and figured out that she was working. She just recently went back to work.
Okay, can you help me read these conditions? Because I'm kind of dumb on all this. Tell me what.
Start at the top.
Yeah. Tell me the ones you want to bring up. The key. I know we don't have to go to each condition.
Okay.
Tell me the ones that you want to point out here. So obviously the first one is not including income for the NPS.
The income for the NPS. Another thing is that anytime that someone is in a debt management credit program.
Okay, show me where that condition's at.
Okay.
Right here. 103.
Yes.
Okay, so we have condition right here, 103 from Cindy. That's our USD underwriter. And the borrower's in credit counseling.
Mm-hmm. Now, Kevin did have some good documentation in the file. However, when somebody is in this type of program, the type of documentation that the USDA underwriter wants is very detailed regarding the payments, regarding the eligibility to obtain and secure mortgage financing. And so what we had wasn't sufficient enough. And so
What do we have?
We had an LOE that was not signed from the credit counseling company, that was just typed like a Word document.
Okay.
And so I didn't send that to the underwriter. I did send it to the underwriter, but I sent it to the borrower and I explained to them it needed to be signed. However, she said that the LOE was not good enough. And then we had a payment plan, but it wasn't exactly what she was looking for. And the reason she's very strict on that condition is because USDA is very strict when it comes to somebody being in a credit counseling program.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so basically, let's just make sure we understand that. So, if does everyone know what credit counseling is? You know what is it, Fernando?
Credit counseling, it's like where they get advising, similar to like credit repair on how to work on the credit, how to handle accounts, credit accounts, be in good standing with your credit account.
No, that's not really what credit counseling is. When let's say you have five credit cards that are all maxed out and the balances are on all of them combined are 20 grand and the payment's $1,500 a month, and that person is struggling to make that payment. They can call a credit counseling agency, and the credit counseling agency will essentially manage that debt and negotiate a workout to do a repayment either over some fixed term with usually a 50% or more reduction in payment.
With
And-
consolidated.
It is like a consolidation, but it reports negatively
To
on
the
the
credit
credit.
report. And it'll say on the credit report, it says on his credit report that he's in a debt management program.
So but he's basically saying here, I can't, it's not a bankruptcy. He's like, I can't manage this stuff here. Help me take it over.
Mhm.
And so essentially what's happening is that he's now paying the credit counseling agency and they're turning around and dispersing the money to the creditors.
Mhm.
Okay. So what Cindy needs is evidence of 1 year of good standing payment history and a letter from the credit counseling agency saying that the borrower has permission to enter into a mortgage transaction and is a good credit risk. It's a formal letter. This is not anytime that you're getting a home loan and you need some type of letter, it's got to be formal. I mean, it's got to have their letterhead. It's got to be signed. It's got to be dated. Okay. And you normally have to be in that credit counseling for a year or more and have positive payment history. So that's what credit counseling is. So this person has basically mismanaged their debt and asked for assistance. It's not considered a bankruptcy, but it doesn't look good at all.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Another reason why it doesn't look good, he's a sub 640 score. So he's a 638. I think he has just a couple accounts open. So another thing is here is that this automatically requires a VOR, which, I usually get those anyway.
I mean, he does have rental though, right?
Yes, I already got it. I submitted it.
Okay.
For the another point that she was trying to make here on this file is that so he basically he applied for a mortgage loan back in in August of 2014 with another lender. Gus, reported those findings to her, and so I had to have him write a LOE on that. But also Gus was coming up with some revolving accounts that weren't listed on the 1003. I guess they were omitted from the 1003. So
They were omitted from the 1003,
yeah,
but they were on the credit report though, right?
they were on the credit report, but I believe the balance is see here. So if you look at CZ 105, you can scroll.
Mm-hmm. The following accounts were not listed on the 1003. There's a balance on the credit report. Bank of America, 2 of them, Citi, Chase.
They have balances, but they're not active accounts, but they're listed under active accounts.
They have balances, but they're not active.
But they're listed under active.
The creditor closed them.
That's what we're trying to find out. I had to order some supplements to Credit Plus to get me an update on the status of those trades, what happened to them or what's going on.
Okay, let's see.
It might have to do with the fact that it's through that debt management program.
That's probably what it has been. It's probably been consolidated through that. Well, Cindy would, I guess. I mean, yeah, these are probably part of the credit counseling. And what's her question?
She was saying that why weren't they listed on the 1003, but they have a balance. So I'm just gonna.
But what needs to take in place of that is the credit counseling payment. Where's the credit counseling payment?
It shows them at the top which ones are in the credit managed by that counseling program.
Oh, but it doesn't say that those are.
Right. So I ordered a credit supplement. I'm waiting for it to come in. The borrower's doing a conference call.
Okay. Does everybody see that here? That this is an interesting thing that may not always be obvious to everybody. So where are those at?
It's
Bank of America, yeah. See where it says account closed at consumer's request, but it's still reporting. So, but it doesn't say anything about it being in this. So this is where you need to do, be the detective and find out what's going on here. Because, okay, it's still reporting, but, you know, it says it's closed. Most likely, it's probably in this debt counseling program and not showing, and they're not included on when they're reporting it. So, in other words, when this debt management company is reporting it, it's basically on a ticker or tape. They send it out to the bureaus. They could have missed these, and it could be in there most likely because it's not showing up because it's closed. This remember, this ignores those closed accounts. Doesn't show up over here. So we do need to find out what. It's not going to affect his ratios because they're such small payments, but she wants to know about it. So, and that takes a pretty fine eye to see that. And so, but hopefully when you guys are getting the repair report, you guys actually reading it, because that's where you pick something like that up. Actually read the report, and you know, you don't have to read it all the stuff down here. This is not relevant to us, but obviously the trade lines are. And when you see something like this, you need to think about what that means. And you see that this has a balance. If you see account close in a balance and a DLA of current, there's something going on there. Where either the creditor closed it, and that's probably not the case, because it says the consumer closed it. And so it's probably rolled into this debt management. So, and Cindy's basically saying, hey guys, why didn't you tell me about this? Or why is it omitted? Give me some documentation. Like, for instance, probably, why don't we have a list of the creditors that are included in the debt management from the credit counseling company? Why don't you send that to me so I can know how to handle these? You know, so what about this driver's license not matching?
That's something we do. So just the LOE on why, if there's an address variation from the DL to the present address on the 1003, you need an LOE on it always. NPS, if she's working or not working, either way, you need to know if they have a bank account. You need to see their 2 months bank statements. If they're not working and don't have a bank account, you need an LOE stating that they don't have a bank account. But she, wants to verify there's not any other deposits, money's coming into the home.
See, everything that are processors, they have to clear all these things. And then there's funding conditions on top of that. There's not just the initial underwriting. These conditions has to be closed prior, clear prior to funding. That's why their job's so detailed. And it's why it's so important that you guys understand what it takes from their side too, so you're submitting the right stuff. This whole list has to be done before we can fund this loan. Okay, so we got that. Let me see, what else do we got here? What about on the source of funds?
That's anytime that somebody, a borrower pays down an account, we need to see how they paid it down. So to make sure that it was payroll related or withdrawal.
Was there account paid down?
Yes, there was. It was a SNAP credit account, Snap-on credit tool account.
Let me freeze you right there. So if you're going to do any paid down accounts, my recommendation is to avoid that your underwriter asking about that is get a new credit report, then submit it. You understand what I'm saying? So that way the underwriter never even knows about it. Because that's going to raise all these questions. Where'd you get the money from? How'd you do it? Okay. If you do because what happened? You got to pay something down for a rescore?
You just step that down.
Okay. And we submitted it with that in there?
I submitted it with a supplement showing the account had been paid down. Because the way it came into me is that the balance was still there, and then Kevin was like, "Yeah, if you're paid
The way
down,
that we
you
want to
pay it
do
down."
that though is it's probably better just to do a rescore and show the new report, right?
Well, the rescore, no, a rescore would be. I did the supplement. I ordered it and I
But
submitted
then
it.
Cindy's going to ask about it if you include it.
That's why she did, because I couldn't just omit it from the DTI.
Right.
So she's gonna ask, why did you omit it?
Right, but if we do all that before we submit it, then she'll never know about it.
Correct, because it wouldn't report to credit in the amount of time. You probably have to wait 2 weeks to submit the loan if waiting
No,
for
if we
credit
did-
update. But if you did rescore, yeah, it can turn in a week later.
Yeah.
But to wait for credit update is what, like 3 to 4 weeks?
Now, I'm not saying that we wait for a credit update.
Yeah.
I'm saying that you can do a rescore and then it prevents, 3 or 4 additional conditions.
I was thinking of the rescore, but then I was like, by the time it came in, I was like, he was okay with the ratio since he paid it down, and he actually has the documentation of how he paid it with the tax
Or
return.
if they do have the documentation, then that's okay.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
knew he had the money.
Okay.
He just got a big tax.
But some of these people that are, don't have the documentation,
Yeah.
or they, it's a cash type thing and they can't prove it, then you definitely don't want to submit it in like that. Because if you can't provide evidence, then you could have conditions that can't be cleared. So, but now is this an FHA loan? Oh, it's USDA. So the source of funds,
Mhm.
what's the source? Is that for cash to close?
No, sourcing the funds, meaning where did he get the money from to pay down the
Oh, okay,
account?
that's for that. Okay.
Yeah, so he, but yeah, you're right, a rescore would have been the way to go on that.
Well, not if you can prove it though, right?
Yeah, but it's a large
Right.
paper trail that I have to dig
Okay.
through.
I mean, then the borrower has to be compliant, comply with sending in that stuff. What if he says, "Yeah, Kevin, I don't want to get all that. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know. I mean, I can't get that paperwork for you." I mean, then that's where, okay, you have to make an executive or loan officer decision. Okay, do I need to do a rescore, or is this guy comfortable with supplying the documentation? Let him know up front, hey, okay, if you want to pay this off, I need the whole paper trail where you got this money, where it came from, or I'll just rescore your credit. You guys need to make that decision before it gets to processing, so that way it doesn't have a mess to deal with. And it's going to be tailored to each loan. You can't just say it's a general guideline. It's always going to be a rescore. Maybe this guy can provide the documentation. He's very organized and doesn't have a problem. Ideally, most of them will probably be rescores, but I mean, probably not all of them. So, or what do you, is that right, or you don't? I mean, what do you think? You want all of them to be rescored?
No, no, it's fine, but if they can supply the documentation, it's just easier to not have to. I think she would have felt more better instead of, saying, hey, it took her 2 hours to review this loan. I think some of these things could have been.
Right.
But I mean, I know everyone, y'all are, this is learning, so.
Okay. Any other conditions that stood out?
No, I think that's.
What did Cindy's email say?
That regarding the file that it took her 2 hours to get through it, and it should only take like, 45 minutes or an hour or something like
Okay.
that.
And she's saying that if we would have,
If we would have basically done a better scrub of the file beforehand before submitting it, that it would have been less conditions and would have been clearer for her and would have taken her less time. Therefore, coming back out of underwriting, we would have had less to do, which I agree with her.
okay. Now I want to know, Kevin and Fernando, you guys reading these conditions, what questions do you have? So we can, make sure that we're submitting good loans moving forward. And I mean, not that this is a good loan,
Yeah.
but I mean, make it better. How to make it better? Is there anything that you guys see?
Well, I feel like all of these conditions are foreign to both of us, so I feel like in my position, I feel like going into the future, we should have training with processors so we can know exactly what they go through, and that way we should have a breakdown of USDA, FHA, our main loans, and main things to look out for. I guess I know it's hard to put specifics because everyone's different, but I mean that's why I want to sit with Angelina or Johnny to kind of
Okay.
get a better sense of. And I didn't know I had to get the NPS. I always kind of wondered that, like, well, you feel like there's got to be some documentation there if there's an income cap, but I just never. I should have known better, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm lacking.
How about tomorrow? Would you like to work with John tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm lacking knowledge. I mean, even like I know it's hard with everyone's schedules, but like half hour a day or something, especially for the new loan officers we're bringing in. I feel like before we even throw them into the mix, have them sit with the processors for a day. That's my opinion, man, because
Yeah.
they got to know what to look for on their end.
Right.
I think I give you pretty good feedback on things you need to work on.
Yeah,
I
Angelina,
say too.
Angelina's always letting me know when like if I need something here. I tell her, let me know because I want to get better. You know, so
What do you think, Fernando?
I agree with Kevin. Yeah, like when I came in at shadowing, I didn't even do a full day in processing. I was looking forward to that because I was picking up pretty good with shadowing the loan officers. Then processing, it was just real quick. Didn't really go too much in depth. And I definitely think shadowing or sitting in, looking in, observing would definitely help. You watch the process, you see exactly what's needed, and then you can supply it at the beginning. So
Right.
it'll be
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as these conditions though, you guys understand? Do you have any questions about them or
With
why we have to do this?
what you were just talking about the new credit report and submitting that, I'm in a similar situation with the land guy. We just did a rescore on him so we could do without showing rental history, but he just paid out an account. And one thing that I'm not too sure about right now, but I definitely want to learn more on is documenting funds. He just paid down a card. And like he's real tight on money right now.
Okay.
He's having to hold off on the appraisal, until he gets some money. So I would like to know better, like what exactly is needed to document funds, what you need, to document certain payoffs, things like that.
For,
USDA, I think they all of them,
but are you talking about for the rescore?
everything. He just paid down a balance on his card to get him to a rescore, but also documenting funds, to cover appraisal, inspections, down payment, all of that.
Okay. See, that's one thing that we were saying earlier is that if we're going to do a rescore and we're doing that before the loan goes to underwriting, then you don't need to document anything on that part. But anything like for costs associated with the loan, like pre-closing expenses, down payment, that has to be documented. You have to document the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And so, but anything that the underwriter never sees doesn't need to be documented. But any type of the down payment on an FHA loan is very critical where the funds come from.
Mhm.
And everything has to be, under a magnifying glass where that money came from. It can't be any mattress money or cash. There has to be a paper trail if there's a gift. You have to disclose the donor's information. Okay, like a bank account, a bank statement, or if there's a wire. Right.
The gift letters and KLEX, the canceled check images from the gift.
And that's why you're absolutely right. What we'll do is we'll schedule you this week to do. What we'll do is probably once a week for May. To schedule you guys for a few hours a day. Do shadows of the processors.
I feel like I know it's a pain in the ass, but
No, it's not. It's good.
if
Good.
every loan officer we have can say that they've at least processed one FHA and one USDA loan, then it's going to cut down on shit like this, and they're going to be more efficient. If I know what they're looking for, and every email I get from a borrower that's already comfortable talking to me, I have to just forward to Angelina, which I'm doing right now. And I feel like I don't know what to say though. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I just forwarded to Angelina, like, Angelina, what's going on? Like earlier I had a realtor call in about a deadline on an appraisal. I didn't know what to tell her, and I just blowed Angelina up with emails, but I don't know I don't know how to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. I mean, I did call her and I got it situated, which
But still, like if I had more knowledge.
No, he's right.
Yeah,
You need to know how to. He needs to know how to do that.
right. I think because Brian and Ron, they actually sat in processing before they sat with me, so they know a little bit more about. I mean, no offense or anything like that, because you guys are newer, but they used to sit in here with me, and then anytime they had a question, they just asked me. So I think that might be a little bit more why they have more feel for what what not exactly, but they have a little bit more feel because Kevin's turned in some really good loans, and I got one of Fernando's, but you know what I'm saying, like that. I think that they have more feeling of like what he's talking about, like how to answer the realtor if she's asking about an appraisal thing, or that kind of like those simple things that they're asking.
Right. No, I agree. We're gonna we'll schedule you tomorrow with John, Kevin, 1 to 4. And then Fernando, we can schedule you Wednesday
I feel like that's too long. Like I have so much. I gotta get like. I was thinking like I'm in here early, John's in here early, but like hour with him in the morning, hour at night. I just 3 hours in the day. I feel like that's too much.
Well, just, get with him on your,
Whenever it works for him, type of thing. Or
yeah, but you want, let's do it tomorrow. What time do you normally get here at?
guys, if I know I'm in the train and John's gonna be in here, I'll just kind of it doesn't matter to me, man. I mean, that's coming whenever. Usually by latest 8:30.
Mhm.
But 3 hours during the day, that's prime time cleanup. I can't.
Yeah, but we need to get some time set aside. Pressure, open that door and ask John when he's. Yeah,
Man,
what happened?
what's up?
He wants to sit in with you and start. He wants to shadow with you and with processing and process a file. What he said, he comes in the morning. He doesn't want to do it like between 1 and 4 because it'd be too hard for him. Can he do something with you in the morning tomorrow?
Night.
Night,
Anytime.
I submit, yeah, usually I submit
That night?
late at night or
Okay.
early in the morning if I'm not busy.
Okay.
In the middle of the day, it's usually just phone calls and emails for 4 hours.
Okay.
From
What about tomorrow? Tomorrow through Friday from 8 to 9. Both these guys.
8 to 9.
Are you or what time are you here?
Probably
Joe?
later in the day, at night, I don't know.
What do you mean?
8 to 9.
8 p.m.
That's like when you first come in.
No, 8 p.m.
Oh, PM. Oh, my bad. Yeah, that sounds good. No, I'm sorry. That's got a lot going on, man.
So Fernando, that's what we do for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's good to me, yeah.
Yeah, from 8 to 9. We'll have you guys sit in, and they want to process the file.
Yeah.
So they need to see how to do it because we're going over the conditions from Cindy on this, and they have missed some stuff. They just want to make sure that we don't miss anything and they get better at it. So that way they know what processors have to deal with. Like for here, the customer's in credit counseling. He missed some stuff, and the pay down a debt and didn't have the proper disclosure of the information. Non-personal spouse income wasn't included. So just wants to get better.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Okay, from 8 p.m. to
Sounds good.
Cool. Starting tonight or tomorrow?
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Works.
What? All right.
Yeah, just I'll see you later.
Okay. Well, we're finished.
Yeah.
So okay. All right.